Hi, continuing the idea of mystery objects. I think a couple of these are not going to be such a mystery, but they're interesting objects nonetheless. So I thought I'd show you a few more. My last three mystery objects attracted lots of attention and comments, and to be honest, I was really surprised how many dealers didn't know what the items were that I was showing. So let's see where we go from here. My first object here is this carved wooden piece. Little stand with a swivel top on it. A little bit of cutting away there. And a decoration at the front, a sort of silhouette type decoration. This is called Morclin ware. And these little silhouettes were done for various popular holiday resorts really around the country, and then placed on all sorts of different objects, boxes, things like this, and people would buy them and take them home as a souvenir from a short day out, usually not a week's holiday which we have these days, or a month's holiday. People used to just go for a journey on the train, or later a journey on the charabanc, which was a bus, and they would bring something home like this as a souvenir. So this is carved walnut wood, very pretty, beautifully detailed, and it has this little velvet padding behind it. So I'm not going to tell you what this one is for the moment. A lot of you will have guessed, but having shown it to a few people this morning before I did this, it wasn't quite as obvious as I thought. Next is this lovely object here, which is only part of an object. It's got a little handle on it. There you go. It is hallmark silver, and you'll see on it this really lovely, typically Art Nouveau decoration. Very, very detailed. This won't be much of a mystery to most of you, I'm sure, but it has a little catch and pops open. But the fashion in the period when this comes from, the end of the 19th, early 20th century, when Art Nouveau was at its height, would be to have ladies' purses, but to change them regularly. And the ladies were very handy at sewing, or you had a maid who was handy at sewing for you. So you'd have multiple different bags made of velvet, cotton, silk, all sorts of different materials. And depending on the colour you wanted, you would sew it on for the day or for the evening, and then cut it off again the next day, because on the back of it and on the frame there are little holes that enable you to do that and reattach it. So that's a really, really pretty piece of Art Nouveau art, basically, and a lady's accessory. This next object did attract a little bit of debate as to what it might be. Some of you, I'm sure, maybe even use them these days, but some of you possibly don't. This one here is made of celluloid. This one is 1937, is dated as coronation souvenir and is made of metal. And this one is a souvenir from Bergen and will be made of whalebone. So, interesting little collector's items. I won't tell you what they are at the moment, but we'll go back to those when we finish. This is the last object for today, or objects. It's a pair of them. You can immediately see that they are cufflinks, but they're rather large, carved mother of pearl, and engraved with a number 5. And these are Chinese gambling chips. And obviously somebody liked the number 5, wanted to wear them when they were going gambling, probably regarded number 5 as being their lucky number, so they obviously weren't Chinese because the lucky number in China is 8. And so they had a pair of gambling chips made from, or cufflinks made from the gambling chips. Really rather elegant, maybe a bit big for daily use, but I'm sure somebody else who likes number 5 would like them as their gambling lucky numbers. So let's go back to what I was showing you earlier, and we'll see if you got it. This is actually for placing a pocket watch. Silver, gold, whatever it happened to be made of, at the side of your bed at night. So it became a night clock. So you put the pocket watch in the stand, held into place in that little slot there, and then in the morning you would take it off and you've got a pocket watch again. So it meant the watch doubled as a clock and a pocket watch during the day and then at night. And then the last one for today was this little group here, and I'm quite sure that most of you have got the fact that these are actually bookmarks. But that's bookmark with style, isn't it? Really is bookmark with style. So thank you for listening, watching and commenting in the past, and I'm quite sure that I'm going to be asked, because I am every time I wear it. The jacket is vintage as well, and this is 1940s, early 50s Belgian police motorcycle jacket. See you soon. Hi there, back with 3 more mystery objects here in my hand. 2 of them quite decorative, as you can see, and I'm sure some of you have come across them. This one here, it's got a bit of a giveaway on it, but let's take that away. 2 of them very similar, that one and that one, both hinged and sprung, and then this silver handled but with a little hook on the end of it. So these would have been part of a lady's bedroom set. She would have had these as a dressing table, part of a dressing table set. Very decorative, posh house with silver handles. Lesser houses would have had wooden handles or silver plated handles, but these are silver, and this one is wooden for a good reason. But any ideas? I'm sure some of you have worked it out already. Let's go through it. This one here is actually for curling your hair. It's not a torture instrument, as one person suggested, nor is this one for the purpose of one of the other items. So this would have been heated up, sometimes on an oven, sometimes on a spirit burner, which was specially designed. Obviously the wooden handles for insulation, and the lady would sit there and carefully curl her hair. It's no point in me trying. But can you imagine the damage that this would have done to the hair if you overheated the tongs? Overheat them too much, get them red hot, and you'd set the hair on fire. And I gather that was quite a common occurrence back when these were being used regularly. Get them red hot and there'll be a nasty sizzling hair smell. So that's the first one. Second one, which did the same thing, was hinged, as you can see. Nothing to do with curling hair. Back in the Victorian and Edwardian era, ladies had beautiful, elegant gloves, often like these, made of something called kid leather, which was the very soft leather from a young goat. They would get dirty and would need to be washed, and kid leather now is still used in some places for cleaning windows, but not normally for making gloves. But when you wash the gloves, of course, they shrink. So this is where the glove stretchers come in. You put the glove stretchers inside the thumb, like that, oops, missing it, and stretch it back out so that it comes out to go back onto your hand easily. Now my other mystery object, I'm going to keep the glove in my hand for that, because this is a button hook, and lots of garments in the Victorian and Edwardian era, and even the shoes and the gloves, had tiny, tiny buttons on them, and they were very, very difficult for people to handle doing them with their fingers. Particularly for ladies with gloves, they wouldn't necessarily have a maid, so they would be able to put the gloves on, put the button hook through the hole, hook it onto I'm not going to be able to wear the glove because it's far too small, but they would be able to put the hook onto the button and then pull the button through the hole. Oops, I'm not very dexterous at this, as you can see, but the ladies would have been experts. Oops, there we go. Now, as I said, a lady could have done this with one hand. I'm not even able to do it with two hands, but you can see the purpose of the object in the first place. And it was to make life easier for ladies, putting on their shoes, their gloves, and even sometimes items of clothing with very small buttons. So, another 3 objects for you. I know that already some people have decided they would actually like to start collecting some of the things that I've been talking about, because they're fun, and nowadays with antiques and collector's items being really pretty much out of fashion, they're very, very cheap. A silver handled button hook like this a few years ago would have been £30, £35. Now you can pick them up for as little as a £5. So that's definitely worth starting a collection. See you again soon.